today I'll show you how to make your own little Zentreya in lizard form. So let's get started with the things, all the things we need. So we need some of these things will be optional, and you can trade out some of the, you'll see as you get to it. So these are tinfoil hot glue. I have some shiny bits on Zen, and I have some metallic colors. Jacquard, Pearl X. That's the metallic bit. It's good with polymer clay. You can bake it if you want, as long as it's just the metallic parts by itself. You need a varnish that works with polymer clay, and if you put any glue on there, you need glue that works with polymer clay as well. You can buy a glue that's bakeable. Well, it's not a glue, but it works like a glue for polymer clay. I like to use the varnish as a glue since it doesn't get gross. But like super glue will turn gross. That won't work. And Mod Podge, it'll turn sticky and it'll be gross after a few months. So don't use those. Those are not good. You can, if you want hair, you could use yarn. You can use felting wool. You can just use felt. You could just use felt. That would work too. Or just no hair. She looks great. She looks great bald. And then a bunch of other stuff. Bunch of little stuff. Okay, so I always start with a base of tin foil because it's super cheap and you can bake it. And then I put just some scrap clay on top to kind of smooth out all the bits, because it do be pretty rough on the first go. So before I make her look nice, I wanted to do the wig. I wanted to have that ready, so I started out with a little bit of plastic. I measured kind of how big I wanted it to be with hot glue, and this will also help it hold its shape, so it'll be a little bit rounded now. And then you want to cut it down, and I also glued a little bit of cotton on top to help give it a little bit of shape when we start to do the wig. So if you're not doing felting, you probably don't need the cotton, but maybe you will. It's something to consider. It helps give you shape immediately. So I started with some red felt. I started just felting it into kind of the general shape I wanted it to have. So this is the wig right here. This is the felt by itself, and then I felted it into kind of the strands, the hair strands of her bun ponytail thing. Bun tail thing. And then I gave it a little bit of coloring as well as a touch of glue. It's not gonna look quite as soft. So here it is without anything on it. This is while it's wet, so it's a little gross looking here. But this is when it's dry. So this'll help it keep its shape. If you add a little bit of glue and a little bit of color. I liked it with a little bit of color, but I understand if you want to leave it how it was. I don't remember how many pieces I used. I just covered up, where's my thing? I covered up all of this shape, so I laid some down for the bangs, and then I laid the rest on top for the ponytail. So there's a few strands there, 10 or so, maybe a little more than 10. And then I painted the inside red so that we couldn't see that sticking out once that's sitting on top. So there's the inside. The inside's red. So here she is after she's been baked. So she's looking a little pink there. These are all the pieces I baked, that's all. So she's got her general shape. She do be a little spooky without while she's naked. Then this is when you'll use the metallic colors. I like the shine it gives. It gives a little extra detail, and I decided that's what I wanted to do with the clothes as well, as I just wanted them to be shiny. I didn't want to have to worry about measuring and fitting anything, so I painted the clothes right on, and I painted her eyes on as well. You can do the eyes with polymer clay, but I didn't feel like mixing all those colors, so I painted those on, and I used the metallic colors to do that too, so it's a little shiny. I gave a little bit of depth to her lips with the metallic colors as well. And let's see, where I use a soft pastel, that's what the red is on her feet and her back and her lips. That's all soft pastel, so I thought that made a nice base so she wasn't just pink. Also, the soft pastel will give you a really smooth look. So I painted on all the details after she's baked. So she's baked right now. You'll bake her at 275 for about 10 minutes, and then just let her cool down. Cool down time is up to you. Just be careful you don't take it out immediately, or it could crack. So just be careful about that. And then of course the wings. So there's many ways you can do the wings. How I did mine a weird way. I used tracing paper. So I started with a stencil, a pattern. I don't know. I started out with a pattern, and then I cut out five pieces for each side. So it was 5 over here and 5 over here of tracing paper, and then I glued them together. You can use any glue as long as you're covering the whole thing, and then make sure you flatten it so it doesn't get all bumpy. And then of course you'll need to paint it. I again painted it with the metallic colors so it matched our shiny bits a little bit, and I just glued those on. I used the varnish and a tiny bit of hot glue to glue it on. If you want to do it really properly, you could make little indentations on her body and have a little bit of wire sticking out, and you can glue it onto there, and then the wings can move. But I was again too lazy to do that, so I did not do that. And then of course her little accessories to complete her look. So I used a little bit of black velvet ribbon, and I just glued those onto her neck and wrists, and then she's done.
Preparing the Zentreya.